Okay, so the first topic I want to talk about for getting some peace of mind, and actually a lot more than that, is meditation. Meditation is simply focusing your attention on something. The most obvious, to me anyway, meditation that most people have some experience of is studying. When you focus your attention on something you're trying to learn, you're right there with it, you're focused, your thoughts are unwavering. When you get to a certain degree of focus anyway, something could happen over here and you might not be able to notice it at all because you're just so focused on what you're doing. And that is peace of mind. That'll actually help bring you peace of mind because you're focusing so deeply on that subject. So that's one form of meditation. Another form, which is a little more formal perhaps, would be watching your thoughts. This is a really good meditation, and I'll give you something even deeper with that in a moment. But you can just watch your thoughts. You just sit quietly, you set a timer, decide how long you want to meditate, set a timer, sit there, your eyes can be opened or closed depending on your what works best for you. It's very individual. A lot of times it's recommended to do this type of meditation with your eyes open because it's an outward meditation. It's a willful meditation, outward in that way. It's inward in that you're watching your thoughts. And so for you, maybe inward means closing your eyes. But whatever way you're doing it, you just watch your thoughts. And you don't try and do anything about it. You just notice that this thought's passing through my mind, and you just see it. And it goes on and it'll go off. And then there'll be another thought. And this will be constant for most people. It just will not stop. The mind is constantly trying to entertain itself. It's constantly trying to be seen, be heard. This is one of the most basic human characteristics, is we want to be seen and heard in some way. And it starts in there, in that mind, and that the mind wants to be seen and heard in that way. So just watching these thoughts is they're actually being noticed. You are noticing your thoughts. So, it's ideal, like if you were to talk to a therapist, you'd tell your therapist a thought. And then they would hear that and it would be received, it would be acknowledged, it would be removed in that way because it's gotten out there, it's been seen. But it's different when you're doing it yourself, and very possible. You just are watching your thoughts yourself. And that will help clear the mind. The mind does clear up. Eventually those thoughts will cease to be. It'll just be gone. So that's one form. Now you can actually do this in different ways. You can stare at a candle, for example, is another one. That's the main one I can think of offhand. Oh, the thought, the breathing. You can do this with your breath. That's an excellent one. When you're watching your breath, this is more in line with being in the moment. So watching your thoughts, you're in the moment, you're in the present because your thought is in the present. It may be a thought of the future or the possible future or the past, and that's fine too. But it's still, the thought is in the moment, even though it's a thought about something that happened in the past. But you can bring yourself even more in the moment, in the immediate moment, by watching your breath. When you're watching your breath, you cannot help but be in the moment. So give that one a try as well. So I've given you several different meditations in terms of watching your thoughts, because there's just straight watching the thought, nothing else, or staring at a candle flame, so you're focusing, your attention has something to focus on. There's watching your breath and paying attention to your breath, and then the thoughts may come up and you can be with the thought as well. You're kind of splitting yourself there a little bit, but it's possible for some people. Probably better if you just watch the breath and nothing else, to be experiencing being in the moment. And there's other ways as well that are in their own type of meditation. All meditation is basically wanting you or focusing on being in the moment in this willful way. You decide to be here now in this particular moment. And that's the technique you're using, is just to help facilitate that. So give one of those a try. Give them all a try. See what works best for you. And what you want to do is you want to pick a time. Set a timer. Do it for that length of time. That way you don't have to worry about anything. Your mind knows that you're going to be here this long and no longer. You don't have to worry too much about the future, because the future comes when the bell rings and the timer goes off. Okay, enough about that type of meditation. Let's make another video on something else. Thank you.